going back to YouTube and monetization, it sounded like you have about 14,000 something followers. At what point did you start getting, like, you talked a little bit about building passive income that way. At what point did you start getting income? And then, like, does that mean that you need to build it to X amount to get X amount? Is that how that algorithm works, or?
Yeah, so I got monetized, I think it was like 9 months in.
Okay.
And back when I got monetized, it was 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours.
Yeah, I think I saw something similar to that.
Now it's 500 subscribers.
Okay.
But I think it's still 4,000 watch hours.
Okay.
So yeah, you just have to meet those metrics. Or you could get like a crap ton of shorts views, which is like super hard to do to get monetized.
Yeah.
But on long forms, it's 4,000 watch hours is the thing.
And then at that, monetizing means that they'll put commercials in and you'll get paid for it?
Basically, like, your content will always have ads on it. It's just whether or not you're going to get paid for it.
I see.
And so once you get monetized, then yeah, you could choose if you want to be or have ads on your video or not that you're getting paid for, basically.
I really want to buy this. Wrote them an offer. I had no clue
50 or something for it. They paid like 30.
Yeah, I put it on TikTok, I put it on Instagram, depending on the video.
Hey guys, welcome to the Realized Gains podcast. I'm Stephen Tran.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'm your co-host Jordan Lee, and we're super excited to have Connor Webb on the show with us today, who is a very experienced podcaster. He actually has his own channel. But first, I want to just kind of, like, are you from the area, Connor? Like, where are you from? Or did you grow up here? Or?
Yeah, so born in Southern California. My family moved up here when I was in kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
up to Ridgefield, Washington.
Oh, nice.
So I've lived in Ridgefield.
That was before Ridgefield was Ridgefield.
Yeah, I know. It was a small farm town. Like, gravel roads are the main roads now, basically.
Yeah.
And, grew up there, went over to Washington State University, but now it's just blowing up.
Yeah. Okay. So you said you went to Washington State,
Yep.
Cougar. And isn't that part of your channel too? Like, you follow those guys?
Yeah, big time. So did a double major of finance and marketing 2016 at Washington State, and then came back over, got into mortgage right out of school. And
right out of college.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've
how
been
did that
mortgaged
work
for 10
though?
years
Like,
now.
I mean, why did you choose mortgage right out of college? Like, did you learn about it in your program at school?
No.
Because I was gonna say,
I had
like,
no clue
it's
about
never like when I found it, it was not like even a career thought at all, not even a little bit.
Yeah, I had no clue about it because, it's not something that you're taught in college. Basically, I just had a family friend that worked at a mortgage lender.
Okay.
Worked for a loan officer, and so
Here in Portland or
actually in Vancouver.
in Vancouver, yeah.
And so
Portland Metro.
Yeah, exactly. So I knew that I wanted to invest in real estate long term. There's like a whole story to it. My uncle gave me the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Investor.
Yeah.
When I was in college, and I actually worked in a steel mill that my summers in college. My dad was a steel salesman, basically his entire life, and on my breaks in the shack, I would read The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. That's how I learned about passive income investing in real estate. That made me want to major in finance so that I could learn about how money works.
Okay,
And
so
then-
even before college, you knew that you wanted to invest in real estate.
Yeah, basically, I was working that job, swing shift, 12-hour shifts, days, nights, all that stuff, summer hire, and I learned that I did not want to work for an hourly rate, that I didn't want to be, like, told how much I'm worth, basically. And so I wanted to do everything in my power to, like, break away from that system. And so it's like, okay, how can I retire as quick as I can or make as much money as quick as I can so that I can spend the time with my family when I want to, when I start to have a family. So that's ultimately where it stemmed from.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you tell us when you graduated college? Because that would give us some context how long ago that was when you got into mortgage.
2016.
Okay.
Yep. So 10 years ago. And I spent the first year and a half just working for a loan officer, super high producer, and just basically looking at documents of like, okay, this is a W-2, this is a pay stub, bank statement.
Like, you started on as a loan officer assistant, basically,
Yep.
and you were paid like some sort of hourly plus commission.
Hourly with a small, override on files.
Right.
So, making money out of college, that's all that matters. Just getting your feet wet.
Yeah, that's how I started too. It seems like, I don't know if you still see this happening for folks as much recently, but I don't know. I haven't seen too many people doing a similar thing as much recently. I don't know what your experience is.
Just being
like,
entry level type thing?
Yeah, like entry level, working as an LOA for a while before.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Probably because, I mean, loan officers and realtors, they can't really afford that right now because,
Totally.
you know, things have been down for a bit.
Yep.
So that might be part of it. But, you know, we have like one person on our team that's actually currently going to college, and he was hired by the branch to do some, you know, follow-up on leads type stuff. So we have one guy that's kind of in that role. But, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So, and let's talk a little bit more about like your interest in sports too. Did you play sports in college or?
Not in college. I mean, I played at intramurals. You know, I played every sport growing up, basically. I have two brothers, so myself and my brothers were outside playing every sport under the sun. I played baseball and football were my big sports growing up, and then I swam my senior year, actually, with some friends, and I knew that I wasn't going to be making money from playing sports.
Right.
I knew that pretty early on, so I decided to just go to a 4-year university.
It sounds like that shouldn't have been something that you knew, because it sounds like you are making money on sports now.
Well, yeah, I guess so. In a different way. In a different way. I'd like to throw out my arm doing it, but I'll sit behind a mic. But yeah, so I knew that I wasn't going to play in college, and so I instead of trying to go play at a community college baseball and then try to work up, I just decided to go to a 4-year. My older brother was going to Washington State at the time, so that was the only place that I applied to. And was a big Mariners fan growing up. You know, I don't know all the stats from like the 2000s because I was outside playing instead of watching it on TV all the time. But just kept up with it. And then after college, I actually got into a fantasy baseball league.
Oh, okay.
And that's what really that's where the Couch GM comes from, the name. Because everyone basically is a couch GM when you're, when you're in fantasy sports.
You got to run the numbers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know all the right decisions to make, right?
Well, yeah, because it's like we all have our own opinion of what the team should do. And I was correct enough times on enough players, like in fantasy sports, that I was like, I should have made a video about that guy because I knew that he was going to be something before he actually was something. And so, you know, there was like one Mariners channel out there at the time that I was listening to, and this
is just like a YouTube channel or like a podcast type thing?
Yep. And we had differing opinions enough to where I was like, all right, I got to start making my own content. I can't listen to this
interesting.
anymore.
Yeah. And it's just you, or you do it with a partner? Or?
Yeah, so it's myself, but then also for Washington State University Athletics, my buddy Dylan. He's the co-host, and I met him my senior year at a bus stop the first week of school.
Nice.
Oh, fun.
My buddy was wearing a baseball shirt, and he was like, you guys play baseball? And him and I actually ended up starting the WSU club baseball team up at Washington State my senior year.
Oh, fun. Yeah, club sports were the best in college. Like,
yeah.
I have a lot of good memories from doing that. Okay, so you started your YouTube channel. When did you start it?
December of 2021.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So you're into your career a little bit, and you're okay, I'm gonna.
Well, yeah. I mean, I had no experience with actual content creation or media, all that stuff. I actually started a fitness brand right out of college with a buddy of mine, which learned how not to do things. the first time.
That's part of entrepreneurship, right? You have to fail. You have to try things and learn.
So I learned pretty quickly, don't rack up all of my expenses on a credit card, and don't buy a ton of T-shirts that you're handing out to people. Because turns out
that's how you build brands.
That's not a sustainable model, and you actually have to make money.
Right. That part.
So learned how not to do it that way, and then with this, it's like, all right, I'm just gonna put all my time and effort into creating content, and start learning this YouTube thing.
Yeah.
And then also I saw, the long-term big picture is the passive income, and that's part of, there's the real estate side of it, but then there's the business side and YouTube monetization, but then sponsorships, brand deals, all that.
Was there something that inspired you? Were you watching this is how you start YouTube and monetize, and this is how you get your channel going on YouTube? Or what gave you that inspiration?
Do you know who Christian Guzman is?
Yes.
Alpha Lead Athletics.
Yeah.
So in college, I was big into fitness, and so I was watching Christian Guzman, Alpha Lead Athletics, and I watched him grow his fitness brand from his garage to this. Now it's $100 million thing, massive.
What is that? Sorry, for us that aren't
familiar
with it.
It's basically this guy that was big into working out. He started a brand, kind of like what we did out of college, but he was successful
for like
with
home
it.
gym type stuff, or for like
He does have a home gym. That's the only video I saw.
It started in his home gym, and then he just started making T-shirts, selling them online.
Oh, it's like an athletic line.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he started but this is all stemming from his YouTube channel.
Okay.
And so I watched it grow from like something small to like this massive thing, and so.
Oh, interesting. So like it was more. It didn't start as a clothing brand. It became a clothing brand after he like.
It's like he is the brand. And he started, he created this brand and the logo, and then he started putting it on shirts. And because of the following that he created from YouTube, those people that were following him on YouTube, were supporting him and buying his apparel, and that led into now it's become a big brand.
And his content was like different ways of working out, or like
yeah, it's just vlog style.
Okay.
Basically,
Okay.
so him filming day in the life stuff and his workouts, and
Okay.
it's a lot of tying the like. You follow him for his personality. And
is he like
who
a personal trainer by profession then, or is he just?
He's just a YouTuber.
Or is it just like a YouTuber? Yeah.
Yeah, just a
I
YouTuber.
mean, I've seen a couple of his videos. It's kind of like he just films himself. He's just a vlogger, I think.
Yeah.
Really,
okay,
at this point.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's just one of what do you call that? Like a lifestyle blog or something? Or
Yeah,
like
just a vlog. Yeah.
So he was doing that, but I mean, obviously that's a completely different type of content. Where did you get the direction for doing your channel?
Well, actually, another part of it is that I viewed it as like creating something like a Barstool Sports, or like a John Boy Media. I don't know if you've heard of that one, but
I know the pizza guy.
Yeah, that's Barstool Pizza Review. But it's like, and part of it also is there's so much like East Coast bias with everything in sports that it's like I got to create a brand that's more West Coast focused, and specifically PNW, because when you hear Mariner talk or Seahawks talk, we're typically the underdogs.
Yep. And
especially Washington State University. So if I can create a brand that covers the teams that I care about the most and put it in a positive light, then that's ultimately my goal. And so John Boy is like New York, Barstool is Boston. Hopefully, Couch GM, we could turn it into.
So like longer term, you kind of want to keep moving up on the stage, right? Like the goal is to be like eventually it would be cool to be like a guest commentator on one of the big shows or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, worst case scenario, it's like I just keep creating a bigger platform that I could use to get mortgage business, and then I'll also have a great time creating content and talking about the stuff that I like, and then best case, it becomes my full-time career.
Yeah, well, question on that. So you only specifically niche on the Mariners and on WSU. Do you ever talk about any of the other teams or the other players?
So I have a series called the Player Profile series, and so I've created 30, 40 player profiles, and probably half of those are on players from other teams. And so, big players that I saw, that were going to be stars at some point, I made a video on them. Or if they had a super interesting story, then I would create a video on them. And those videos have done really well.
Oh, interesting. So it's like, it kind of shows what they're like, what their history is from, what they grew up, what they were doing. So that sounds like a lot of work.
Oh yeah,
that doesn't sound like some talking. That sounds like a lot of like research and like editing videos and stuff.
And that's why when people say that I have a podcast, it's like
that doesn't sound like a podcast to me. That sounds like more like a vlog. Yeah,
it's like I have a YouTube channel that has a podcast on it.
I see,
and that's just one part of it. But like those player profiles will take 10 hours plus of like dedicated sitting down.
Because you're cutting and you're editing and
you're researching, you're figuring out like the flow of the video, and you have to cut the clips, take the photos, all that stuff, voiceover, all of that.
And you're doing that all yourself?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's
yeah.
I try to edit this podcast. I already outsourced that.
I mean, it's essentially like making a movie, right? I mean, without like
you're making a short film.
Yeah, short film. Yeah. What do you use for like editing that type of stuff? Do you have like one environment that you worked in, and did you just train yourself, or did you like take a class on it? Or
it's all Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
So I bought a MacBook in like 2019, and I Final Cut Pro is a one-time fee versus the Adobe Suite is monthly.
Right.
And so I just bought the laptop with with Final Cut Pro. It's super user friendly. It's an Apple product, so it's super easy to use.
Super easy to use, yeah.
And I just watched YouTube videos on how to make videos in Final Cut Pro. It's like if you want to make something look a certain way, you could look it up on YouTube.
Right.
YouTube's the best source for like all information.
Like how do you do this? How do you add a mask? Or how do you color grade or do stuff like that? I do that all the time. So I get that.
Yeah. Yeah, so do everything. every piece of editing is myself, so it's a lot of work, that's for sure.
And was there like in your build, was there some sort of specific video or tipping point when you realized, okay, this is going to be something, or like I'm going to like, you know, got to a certain follower count, or there was a specific type of video that turned the nozzle open or something?
Yeah, so I mean, it was the first year. I mean, my first video got like 1,200 views in the first couple weeks.
Oh wow!
And because like there was no other Mariners like channels out there that was creating the type of content, and a trade happened, and I made a video about the trade, the different players that went to the different teams, and
so like a breaking news type thing.
Yeah, and so you know, Mariners fans naturally wanted to watch that content, so that did well. But then the funny thing is I spent like a whole week, like every day, working and grinding to create a video on the history of the MLB lockouts. But like no music, like super monotone, like, you know, this is the early days. And I spent like a full week compared to like not nearly as much time as I did on the first bit. Well, I spent way more time on the second video. Yeah. And I got like no views. And I was like, okay, well, I guess it's not going to be that easy. But that first year, I just kind of stayed on the current events as they happened. I put my opinions out there on players and whatnot as it happened, and I started the player profile series that first year. And I would chop up that player profile video from the long form into shorts and then post it across socials. And I would tag the player on Instagram. And one night I was at my parents' house, and I had done the Andres Munoz player profile, which is he's one of the best closers in baseball now. But he liked my post, and then he started following me. I was like, what's happening right now? And so
did you immediately post that on Instagram? I see people doing that. Like
well, so I DM'd him a link to his video, and then he was like, yeah, I know, I watched it. I'm a fan of your stuff. I'm like, no way. Like, what?
That's so cool. That's like real validation, right?
Yeah.
That's like, that's like the actual person that you want to watch.
I had like 800 subscribers at the time on YouTube.
Wow.
And so I was like, okay, well, the players are obviously seeing this, even if you're not like seeing it directly. So that was huge motivation to just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard, I don't know the stats, but like most people, most of your views are not going to be from your subscribers. It's going to be on like the random feed, right?
Yeah, you never know, and it's not all about, you know, the number of views that you're getting.
Right.
Yeah.
You just got to stay consistent. It's a passion project for a reason, and so you just got to stay consistent. But yeah, it's like by hitting subscribe, you have a better chance of their content showing up in front of you again, but it's not a guarantee, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So how much more do you like making sports content than mortgage content? On a scale, like if you had to put them on,
it's so hard to make mortgage sound interesting.
Right? I totally agree.
That's why it's like now it's like basically I'm full-time content creation for the sports thing, and then my mortgage business sponsors my channel.
Oh, there you go.
So like for the podcast that I do, and also with these player profiles, it's basically like you learn how the YouTube algorithm works. You know, click-through rate, so create a quality thumbnail and title. And then once they click, you got to get 30-second retention. So it's like no introductions. You can't be doing anything. It's like just highlight reels, like why someone should be watching the rest of the video, that first couple minutes. And then beyond that, it's like, okay, then, you know, I might do a, hey, subscribe if you like this content. Or I do put a mortgage ad in there sometimes. Like, hey, if you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance this next year.
You're like sponsored by myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get business from that?
Yeah, I have closed like 7 deals, 6 or 7 deals.
Yeah.
And that's just over the past like 2 years.
Nice.
Those ones, and you know, more people have been reaching out. So it's all about staying consistent with doing
pays
that.
for all the equipment. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, yeah.
Was there a time when you felt like, okay, maybe I should be commingling these channels in a sense, or like not channels, but like you know, your business with like your passion project?
Yeah, I started doing that like 2 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
And there was a point in time to where I was just doing the sports thing. I didn't even think about, you know, sponsoring my channel myself.
Right.
And then I forget if it was someone or, you know, I just decided to start doing it. But, you know, it's like, why am I not capitalizing on this?
Can I ask, what does sponsoring yourself look like? Because you're not really taking money from yourself, so it's just kind of like
one LLC is paying the other LLC, obviously.
No, it's not. It's not about. It's not about payment or anything. It's all about just like during the video, I'm putting a mortgage ad.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because you know, there's a different brands that I'm affiliated with that, you know, I promote in videos, and so like why not promote?
Because those people are
also?
paying you
Exactly.
to promote on your channel.
Yeah.
So at what point did people start asking you to be affiliate sponsors, or I guess if that's the right word?
Yeah, so it's more like me reaching out to people.
Oh,
and
okay.
brands
So
that I'm interested in.
go after those. It's not like someone's reaching out to get it from you.
I mean, I do get cold emails and then like random accounts on TikTok like, hey, promote this product, and I just never respond. But it's like Baseballism is one. So it's a baseball apparel company actually based here in Beaverton.
Yeah, that's right. I've read about those guys.
Yeah, so I'm affiliated with them. I got a contact that worked at Baseballism, and so I was able to get affiliated there, and really love our partnership.
And how does those partnerships typically look? I'm guessing there's some differences, but in general.
Yeah, so I get a certain amount of gear every quarter, and then I get like 10% of the sales that I get.
Okay, so if someone clicks their
it's
ad
an affiliate link.
and buy, that makes sense.
Or it's use code CouchGM-15 for 15% off your order, and then I get 10%, they get 15% off.
Okay, great. So for the companies you're reaching out to, because you have kind of a niche channel that's like really Seattle focused, Wazoo focused, so are you looking for businesses specifically that are local, or are you looking for bigger brands? Because there's Mariners fans everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. No, ideally, obviously worldwide would be the best. Or it's
Nike,
like,
please.
as soon as Washington becomes, legal with sports gambling.
Yeah.
Then FanDuel.
Right.
And like there's other opportunities that is a nationwide thing.
That seems to be like what everyone has an affiliate partnership. There must be there's just a ton of money in it, right?
But like ideally, Q-Going businesses are a big one. So if there's any Q-Going businesses that are also into baseball, it's like, if you sponsor the channel as a Q-Going business, you're going to get all the Mariners content and viewers watching, but then also all the WCU content that we put out. You're going to have your brand promoted there, which is exactly where you want it. So, right now it's local, but long term for sure national.
Okay, gotcha. And let's kind of just talk about your filming schedule. Like, I watch a guy, because I'm a huge Golden State Warriors fan, so I watch this guy, Athletic Alchemy, and he does a video after each game, and I'm just like, it's over. Is that too much? Because baseball is like a lot more games. Yeah.
Last year I said I would do that. I was like, I'm just gonna go live, just gonna go blah blah blah. Game 1 happened. I was like, I'm not doing a video. And so it's like
it seems like you care a lot about the quality of your content more than quantity.
I don't want to just put out content to put out content. It's like I want to provide value and bring value to the space, and so. That's why I'll do like these player profiles to where the Brendan Donovan trade happened last week, and I haven't made a video on it still because I was, I have a son at home now, and so it's like, I'll take the time to do a Brendan Donovan player profile, which might take a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but it's going to be thoughtful, and
everyone's going to want to watch it because they know what they're going to get.
Right,
it's going to be a quality piece that.
Interesting.
And I was going to ask, I think sports content is kind of like mortgage content. Like, you're going to talk about, this is how the market's doing, and then next week it's going to change. Like, how often are you doing things that are like very current? Like, this thing just happened.
And that's also the problem with it too is everything is very time sensitive, and so it's like I'll be making a video. And then it's like something completely changes that makes what I was making video on irrelevant.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I can't even post this anymore.
So I guess, like, to your point, the player profiles are much more durable in that sense, right?
Yeah, they're evergreen, you could say. There's trending content, and then there's evergreen content.
Oh, that's the term for it, evergreen content.
Yeah,
okay,
so it's like someone could watch a player profile 5 years from now.
Right.
And it's still going to do a good job of explaining, like, this player's story and how they got to that point. So, yeah, evergreen content is the long-lasting.
Yeah, because I watched a lot of basketball stuff, like, the Giannis trade, and this is gonna happen. Nope, it didn't happen. Like that content's like dead, like like a week later or a couple days later.
Yeah, it's so clickbaity too. It's just like
I still watch it though.
So like I don't have a recording schedule. The thing that I am going to get consistent with this year is doing a weekly live stream every Thursday night talking about the Mariners.
Yeah.
And the big thing to this is like having a co-host that is able to that you're able to bounce stuff off of, because like I tried doing some live streams with just myself.
It's hard to keep it going.
You don't want to talk to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, okay, I'm out of stuff. Like anyone, asking any questions or anything on the live
Right.
stream,
I guess
but-
maybe if you have enough people that are like actively asking questions, that
Oh,
could work.
because you have when you're doing a live stream, you have like the questions flowing down the side. Do you,
Yeah, those definitely help for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, when it's not super lively, then it's
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm just kind of sitting here and why am I live?
And your partner's on with you pretty consistently, or he?
Yeah, so I haven't had a co-host for the Mariners stuff until
Okay.
this season, so I haven't been able to be consistent with the actual podcast.
Because your buddy's the Wazoo guy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Wazoo stuff.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so him and I have been great and consistent with that. So we do at least one weekly WC podcast during the season, and like we're pretty much the most viewed WC podcast. Last year, the last calendar year, we had over 100,000 views.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
On the YouTube podcast itself, and that's just YouTube. That's not the audio platforms and all that.
Wow.
So, yeah, now I've got a friend of mine that is super big into baseball and is going to fit well for the Mariners stuff. So I'll be
cool.
able to be consistent
So-
because I'll have someone else that I can, bring on.
So are you traveling out for games then now too sometimes, or
No,
it's kind of hard with the family?
Yeah, so we just had our son in July. So,
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. He's going to be 7 months later this month, and so obviously priorities have shifted.
Yeah, totally.
And this is like a whole nother thing, but after a year of doing the stuff with the channel, so that was all of 2022.
Uh-huh.
In 2023, I actually got media credentialed by the Mariners.
Oh.
Yeah, and how does that process? Is that something you applied for, or
It
they
was
kind
just
of reached out
luck
to you?
and timing
Yeah.
and connections. I DM'd someone on Twitter that was like a field host for the Mariners, and then they told me to DM someone else. He got back to me. I jumped on a call with him, basically just explaining that I'm ultimately trying to share the player stories and show fans why they should be paying attention to these guys on the field.
Which is like that's the fans they want. They
Yeah.
want lifetime fans. They don't want really short term fans, right?
Yeah, and like the Mariners were doing a great job at the time to work up to building the best farm system in baseball, and so they have that leads to long-term success that you're going to be seeing, and so that's ultimately why I wanted to start my channel, because I saw where things were going.
Oh, cool.
But then, I had just made a player profile on one of our top pitching prospects, Bryce Miller, and he asked me if I wanted to have Bryce Miller as my first interview. And I was like, yeah.
Yes.
And so that was the first interview I've ever done. I was so nervous.
I bet.
Like, insane.
That's like crazy first interview.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like I'm 28 years old. This is like a 22-year-old, guy. It's like, why... I shouldn't be nervous.
Right, that's
But,
true.
like-
That's kind of actually a good fit, though.
Yeah, because you do look up to these guys when you're growing up,
Right.
And so you see them in a certain light, but then after a certain amount of interaction, you realize that they're just humans.
Yeah.
And you just have to treat them like that. It's otherwise it's just like this weird barrier, or it makes it weird. So, yeah, I had that first interview. Is like just he answers the question. I'm like, okay, next question.
Yeah, you're
Like,
reading out the list. Yeah,
and then like moving forward, now it's just a conversation.
Yep.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna have follow-up questions based on what they said. And
Right.
It's just like you just have to get reps.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
So yeah, that was the first interview in like spring of 2023.
Okay.
And then that year, and then 2 years after that, I would go up to Seattle. My in-laws live in Everett, which is like 30 minutes north of Seattle. And so as often as I could, I would go up and be on the field as media before games.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so that was...
So
ton-
those
ton of
press
fun.
passes are like kind of durable. Then you can go to, or do you have to get one for each individual event?
You have to apply it each time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But your like name is on a list now, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, you get connected with the media team,
Uh-huh.
and then they see your name come through. But then, this past year, I knew that I was going to be having a son, that I wouldn't be able to go up to Seattle as often and all that stuff. And I actually had gotten connected to some of the realtors that had helped players lease and buy homes in
Oh,
Seattle.
smart.
So I was like, okay, well, I want to start helping players for financing. And so I told my media contact, I was like, hey, let's jump on a call and find a way for me to like still be in this media lane while also being able to help them with financing. And then he was like, let me connect with the team and I'll get back to you. And then he was like, all right, we're not going to credential you moving forward anymore.
Oh.
And so I knew that was, a
The
possibility.
risk, yeah.
But I was like, I'm not going to have time anyways to go up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was fun to do that. And also at the same time, when you're credentialed, you can't have direct communication with players.
Interesting.
So like, I would request a player. The Mariners would say, sorry, we can't get him. I would DM that player on Instagram and get them on.
Oh, cool.
Because I was like, okay, this is like one door that's closed. They said no. I'll just get them on this way.
Yeah.
So I saw it as like, okay, you know, it's not your resources. I'll do it myself. But then they were like, you have to go through us for it. So I was like, okay, well, you're now restricting me.
Right.
So it's a benefit. It's gonna be a benefit long term to be able to have direct communication with players and do all that myself. So yeah, like it looks like a step back to take 2 steps forward, basically.
Right. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't going to be there anyways, so
right.
I don't think that. And do you think it made a difference to be on the field to do it, or I mean, at the end of the day, you're reacting to more of the game and what's happening, and you know, like their performance.
Well,
right?
the thing that sucks is that, like, you know, making the on-field shorts before the game. So it's like I set up my tripod on the field before games, and then players are doing their thing, getting ready for the game. And I'm like, hey, do you have a couple minutes or a couple seconds to answer a few questions type thing? And so, you know, get them for quick interviews on the sideline. That's really great for social media.
Yeah, that's total clip, right?
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun, and that was great. That's the only drawback of not having that access. But aside from that, and then also it's like sitting in the press box.
Right.
And like that entire experience was great. I'm glad I had it. But
Would you say that like hurt your channel in a sense, or is your views and everything still pretty consistent?
Yeah, no. When I put out like a quality, because that's the thing is the only content that actually came from me being up there on the field is that short form, you know, quick interview stuff. Like I don't need the press credentials for any of my content. Ultimately, outside of those interviews.
Right.
And now, you know, and a big thing is like getting players on soon after they're drafted. You know, slide in their DMs, and then when they're, you know, not being hit up by everybody and they're not in the major leagues yet,
right,
you get them on the first couple times. And so like I've had the Mariners top prospect on now like 3 times, like once a year, and because I got him on when he was first drafted, like he's gonna debut this year,
right,
and now, you know, we're friends, I guess, or whatever. You know,
he'll give you the time.
So
because at the beginning nobody's coming after him, and nobody knows about him really too, or can't find the same information about them.
And then he's spent enough time, you know, talking to me and being a part of it that he knows what he's going to get, and it's not just going to be some random person. So
totally, yeah.
You're building trust.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, can you talk about just, you know, I know you're not really exactly being consistent right now, but what is your general structure on like making a video and like shorts, and like how do you plan things out?
Yeah, well, so I try to post a short a day.
A day?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's like, it could be repurposing long form content. Most of it is repurposing long form content. It's like focusing on creating the quality long form and then repurpose that into short form, because, you know, a 10-minute video, you might get 5 1-minute chunks that are solid.
Yeah.
And then these podcast interviews are super great because if you talk to someone for an hour, then there's a ton of clips in there that you can pull out. And then a lot of it, you know, it'll take me like 30 minutes to an hour to actually create a short. Yeah. Because it's finding the chunk, cutting out all the uhs and the ums.
Right.
And then you're trying to make it visually pleasing, so like overlaying photos and videos and all this stuff. Add my logo on top, you know, make it horizontal, and then I export it, put captions on top, and then I'm able to post it. So it's like a whole process.
You do all the
I used to do that for ours, and I was like, I'm gonna pay somebody to do this.
I
can't do this anymore.
Well, yeah, it's like when I don't have excess money to do that, it's like you just have to do it yourself.
Oh yeah, totally.
And you want it to look a certain way too,
especially if you have a very specific look. Yeah.
And it's like perfectionism also, because it's like someone's not going to do it exactly how I want it, so do it yourself. But aside from that, it's like, I mean, I don't have like I kind of just, whenever my calendar is open, then I'll work to get podcast interviews or to, you know, schedule out videos. And like I mentioned, so like a player profile video, I'll see an interesting tweet or something of a stat, and then that'll put me down the rabbit hole of like digging deeper into that. It's like, okay, this is a video, and then you build like the plot of the video off of like some interesting stats that you found, basically.
Right.
So that's like the hook of the video.
Yeah, something that the lay person won't see by just looking at a stat sheet.
I do like those crazy stat videos. I think I watched this guy who does basketball videos. I think he's from Portland. He always says his favorite team is like the Trailblazers. It's like Jimmy X Roller. I forget what his name is, but it's always like weird stats like, you know, are any of these players going to catch up to LeBron in the streak of like 10 plus points of, you know, for like 20 years or something? And then he'll go through every single player like, well, this person, you know, like these are all the things that could happen.
Nobody's going to do that.
Nobody's going to do it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, that stuff. So, I mean, I'm assuming you're doing some like similar things, like crazy stats that, you know, some players are hitting in baseball.
Yeah, a lot of it's more. I guess a lot of it is more so like the player stories.
Yeah.
And yeah, because it's like chopping up the podcast and like, you know, they have an interesting snippet of this happened to them or, you know, whatever. I need it. And then, yeah, because like it's basically like football season is Washington State. And it's like I try to find time to do some Mariners content, but ultimately it's like the Mariners got bounced out of the playoffs, so Mariners fans don't want to watch Mariner content anymore. So it's like if I did post a Mariner video at that point when they were eliminated from the playoffs or in December and nothing's happening, then it might not get much traction and it's kind of a waste. I don't know.
I mean, trade rumors or anything like that?
No, for sure. Trade rumors, free agent signings, there's all of that stuff. But it's like we're creating a lot of content for Washington State and the football team. We're doing a weekly podcast, and then I'm chopping up that podcast into shorts. So it's like it's all about balancing time. And, you know, I can only create so much content. So
yeah, I mean, you got that, and you got to do your mortgage.
Exactly, and I have a family, and I got to make money.
The family, that part. Yeah, and you know, you mentioned like mortgage content. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit and what you've been doing there, and is that getting any traction?
Yeah, so I started a YouTube channel like 2 years ago and just was never consistent with it because, it's like you spend time to make one video and the mortgage content doesn't get many views. So it's like, okay, obviously the sports stuff is where it makes the most sense to put a lot of my focus. But then now we've hired Michael and his team. Yeah,
Michael Hudson, who was on the show. Yeah.
Praised Media, check him out. And so now it's like we film content days or we schedule a content day or, you know, I'll do a talking head for some of the videos. And so he does 4 long forms for me every month. And so we have those planned out in an Excel spreadsheet. And we'll do a content day to bust those out. He'll film. And so that takes a lot of it off my plate.
And what is is there a specific focus or does it kind of fluctuate or
it's
is it
all
more
different
just
types.
Educational, like evergreen content like you were talking about before?
It's all different types. You know, like some videos that I create like a Canva presentation myself even, and then I screen share and I write on it and stuff, and I go through like, you know, this is the home buying process from start to finish.
Oh, so it's almost like a class.
So I have like a a one-stop home buyer's guide, which is 20 minutes long, and I have this in, you know, the email that I send all of my potential clients with the mortgage application. Like, here's a YouTube video. It'll answer a lot of the general questions that you'll have. So I'll make content that is very educational like that I could, if there's a frequently asked question that a lot of people are asking, then I could explain over the phone, but then also send them a YouTube video.
Nice.
So that it could, you know, in a more polished version, because I'm a very visual and audio learner.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I feel like that's a good way for me to put that out there. But then with Michael's stuff, part of it is like business spotlight. So, you know, spotlighting businesses up in the area in Richfield that I find interesting myself that I want to highlight, which can be real, like, you know, my barber is also a realtor, and so I did, you know, interviewing him on his story.
Oh, nice.
While he was cutting your hair?
Yeah, no, not quite, but yeah, that would be fun. And so, like business spotlights, and then also, you know, topics like the evergreen content, and then like, you know, this is what $500,000 gets you in Richfield. You know, when the Richfield Raptors start back up for baseball, I'm going to do a video on the Richfield Raptors.
Oh, cool.
So just kind of a little bit of everything on
Nice.
that.
Yeah, so you're filming, you said 4 a month, so that's basically one mortgage video
One a week.
A week?
Yep.
Okay, and how's that going? Are you getting things cut up into little shorts as well?
So I just repurposed the long form into shorts myself.
Okay.
So, and then also we're starting to do shorts with him too, which, you know, it's filming specifically for a short. And so his team will make it look super polished and good, because you need the hooks for the shorts. You got 3 seconds to catch someone's attention, otherwise they're on to the next video. So yeah, we just started that just a couple months ago, like in January.
Oh, cool.
And so we're going all in with that this year, and because like one of our loan officers, he's in Boise, and he works with a real estate team over there that like 85% of their business comes from their YouTube channel.
Wow.
And this guy's crushing it. So like the power of YouTube is pretty insane.
Yeah, I think what did they say, that YouTube's like the second largest search engine in the world.
Google owns YouTube.
Yeah,
they're the top 2 search engines, and so like the potential is limitless, basically.
Yeah, I mean, can you talk a little about SEO and like make sure that your things are like findable or like search engine optimized? Like, do you do anything with your titles to make sure that things are found, whether it's on the baseball side or the mortgage side?
Yeah, so I utilize ChatGPT like crazy.
Yeah, me too.
And for brainstorming, like coming up with ideas, like I just had a realtor team yesterday that I was talking with, and I walked through a prompt with them. It's like, give me 10 short form video ideas for a move up buyer, and it's like, here's 10 different ideas, and then you could say, okay, create a script for this one. It builds out a script, and then like a shot list and all this stuff. In the same light, when I get done with the YouTube video, I'll upload it to YouTube. YouTube will auto transcribe the entire video.
Oh.
And so it comes up with every word that's said in that video. And so I go to it, I copy that entire transcript, and then I go to ChatGPT and I'm like, for the following video, give me 5 titles with a high click-through rate, build me a description, and then give me 15 keywords separated by commas. And then I paste the transcript, and it spits out 5 really good titles, a description, the keywords, and then I'll typically blend the titles together.
Yeah.
And I'll keep working and prompting it to really dial in the title. But yeah, it's like work smarter, not harder.
Is there like a certain, well, like now I'm just getting tips from you because I need to learn how to do this, but like, let's say you upload like an hour-long podcast, it will give you the whole transcript for that entire video, and I can find it when you upload it.
Just copy paste. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta find out where that is. I learned a new trick.
I think I've seen that
just
before.
go into YouTube Studio, and then it's in like subtitles.
Oh,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've seen that once before.
I could show you before I leave.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Going back to YouTube and monetization, it sounded like you have about 14,000 something followers. At what point did you start getting like, you talked a little bit about building passive income that way. At what point did you start getting income? And then like, does that mean that you need to build it to X amount to get X amount? Is that how that algorithm works, or?
Yeah, so I got monetized, I think it was like 9 months in.
Okay.
And back when I got monetized, it was 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours.
Yeah, I think I saw something similar.
Now it's 500 subscribers.
Okay.
But I think it's still 4,000 watch hours.
Okay.
So yeah, you just have to meet those metrics, or you could get like a crap ton of shorts views, which is like super hard to do to get monetized.
Yeah.
But on long forms, it's 4,000 watch hours is the thing.
And then at that, monetizing means that they'll put commercials in and you'll get paid for it?
Basically, like your content will always have ads on it. It's just whether or not you're going to get paid for it.
I see.
And so once you get monetized, then yeah, you could choose if you want to be or have ads on your video or not that you're getting paid for, basically. And
if you choose not, they'll still put ads on there. You just don't get paid for it.
I mean, that's my understanding, because like if you watch a video that's not monetized,
it still
there's
has
still
ads.
gonna be ads on
Yeah.
it. So why would you not?
Yeah.
Selecting. Yeah. Yeah, and so you're able to put like the ad placement. If it's over 8 minutes long, then that's where you can have multiple ad breaks.
Oh, you can like choose where it is.
Yeah, because you don't want it to interrupt like an important part of your video. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and so like in our podcast, I'll upload it and I'll click monetized, and then YouTube will auto place the ad placement. And so, I mean, most times I just keep it. Sometimes it's done it to where it's like putting a ton of ads, and I didn't realize it until I got people commenting like, I can't watch this because there's an ad every 3 minutes. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, so I deleted a bunch of the ads. But more recently, it hasn't been spamming videos with ads.
It learned that you're actually checking.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It's like, all right. Yeah, because that's a huge barrier.
Okay. And then that piece, then, like, how big do you need to get before that's like, oh, this is like sort of enough income to pay my mortgage or whatever?
Pay your mortgage, you probably have to be getting like tens of thousands of views to every video.
Oh, okay.
And be pumping out content too. Because it's like,
So it doesn't like count your old ones that are recycling.
I mean, it
views?
does, and some of that is a compound effect, or the passive income piece.
Yeah.
So I'm always getting a video viewed. Like it might be, it could be a year ago, but YouTube also now is pushing shorts heavy.
Okay.
And so my shorts get a lot of views, and like if you look at my most recently viewed videos, it could be a short from a year ago. And so you get paid hardly anything on shorts.
Right.
And so, I might get paid, a few pennies or a nickel from a video a year ago. So it's passive, but it's not anything crazy.
Right.
But it does all add up together. And if you do get a big channel and you find that traction, then you could make money very easily. I haven't found that yet. But, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd quit mortgage, right?
Yeah, right. Because how I see it is it always makes sense for me to keep my mortgage license, even if I'm doing content full time in the sports thing, because at the very least I could have a funnel coming in and then get paid if I have a team that's doing the actual loans for me.
Yeah.
So.
No,
totally.
Yeah.
Well, if someone was looking to kind of get started in YouTube and they wanted to get to monetization, and they're starting from scratch, what kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, it's got to start from passion.
Yeah.
You can't be going into it looking to make money from YouTube because you'll be discouraged very quickly.
Yeah, you're not gonna spend 10 hours making a player story, background
You'll
story.
You'll make a couple of videos and then you'll be like, wow, this is hard. Yeah, definitely make it on a topic that you're passionate about, that you want to be talking about and creating content on. You can't be a perfectionist. I mean, you can, but you just have to realize that you're never going to be perfect. That a video that is 85% of the way is enough, because that last 15% will take forever to try to make it perfect.
Yep.
So just get it to where it's presentable and that you're confident to put it out there, and just start building reps. And just learn one new thing every video also. If you're trying to make it look a certain way, just try to add one new thing, like add music in the background, or add a transition or an effect or an overlay, and you'll find that you just keep adding one new thing, get 1% better every video, and see where you're at a year from now.
And would you say there's any particular thing that you changed in your videos that started giving you more traction? Like, was your thumbnails or your descriptions or SEO?
My thumbnails have gotten a lot better, that's for sure. I use Photoshop, and I got some advice from a friend of mine that is an editor, and instead of having a hard outline on a player, I did a drop shadow instead. And so instead of it being just like a line, now it's like a shadow, so it looks like there's depth and
gives it like a 3D effect.
Yeah, so taking more time on your thumbnails is definitely gonna help long term. Or having Michael create thumbnails for you, because I think he uses Solana or something like that, to where it's it's AI, but it's incredible thumbnails.
Yeah, because do you have any yourself in the thumbnails? You're not reacting oh my god.
I do have some videos like that, and some that I make where I'm pointing over here, or here's the title, and that stuff works, and human emotion works.
Totally.
You have to be a little cheesy sometimes.
Yeah,
right. You got to be human.
Yeah, right. So just get started. Get started before you're ready, and just stick with it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if someone wanted to reach out to you, either through your YouTube channel, what's the best way to connect with you?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel and my social accounts are the Couch GM, and then my personal is Lender Connor Webb. So Lender Connor Webb on Instagram, the Couch GM on Instagram, and you could slide in the DMs.
Thanks so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
Thanks, Connor.
Yeah.